having dominated the early stages. Both sides could have had more in that first half. The goal is required to settle this in 90 minutes tonight. As it stands, we would go the distance. It was an open attacking first half at either end. If that continues, both of these sides will fancy their chances of getting the business done. The need for that extra half an hour, plus potentially penalties, has to be decided tonight, of course. No further changes personnel-wise at the start of this second half. A fair bit to say, I'm sure, Mourinho, during the interval. Here come Manchester United through Mkhitaryan, looking to reimpose themselves, really, looking to extend their winning run in the Europa League at home to 6 from 6 this season. Reminder, that goal conceded to Sofiane Ani, the Anderlecht captain, only the second they have conceded at home in this tournament all season. Can't find Shaw. There's Rashford. On the basis of his involvement, albeit relatively infrequently in that first half, looks maybe their most likely source of goals, to play his part in setting up that Mkhitaryan opener. Wonderful ball as well in the build-up from Paul Pogba. He's flitted in and out of proceedings, really. Doesn't have the influence maybe in the midfield battle that Manchester United would be hoping for. Gonka and Tielemans and Ali all really impressive in there for Anderlecht. Here's Shaw, though, can't quite control it. But Appiah under pressure. And we'll force the corner out of the home side here. Rashford is going across the take. It's becoming a regular theme at the moment. Wait for the looks of Bailly to make their way forward from the back. Rashford to deliver in towards Ibrahimovic. Fairly comfortably cleared away from the second ball. Couldn't control it up against Tielemans. And he will bring it away. Tielemans looking to pick the pass for Teodosic, and all of a sudden it opens up for their top scorer. He did have Ashiampong in support. He went understandably for the goal. Still have the chance of something though from the corner. This was dealt with emphatically by the fists of Sergio Romero. If they do bow out tonight, Manchester United will be left to reflect on what might have been and many missed opportunities. But still plenty of time to avert such talk. Anderlecht really are dreaming of a notable result here. Watching the role of underdog that they were playing up to really before the game. Pre-match press conference yesterday when Ivala said everybody in his side would have to have the perfect performance for them to stand a chance of progress. Kick for that challenge on Pogba taken pretty quickly, but Ibrahimovic couldn't make it stick. And looking for Teodosic. Bailly's there, Carrick, Mkhitaryan. Evidence of that wonderful close control is Ibrahimovic. Back to Rashford. Shaw's made the run forward from fullback for him. Luke Shaw is in behind here, and it just needed a touch. Lingard unable to apply it on the line. Really well worked move in the build-up to get Luke Shaw in. A couple of times he's been the furthest forward, and he just rolled in agonisingly in front of the goalkeeper. Crossed the line, and Lingard was desperately trying to get there up against the left back. Obradovic, any sort of studs making contact there, and that would have been 2-1. It's another that goes down there. The nearly but not quite catalogue of chances for Manchester United, of which there have been many. Over the two legs, certainly. It served to further heighten their confidence. They can get the goal required. Actually, a couple of goals with currently the case. Shaw again, forward towards run of Rashford, who runs out of room. It is looking the most likely source of danger though. Rashford-Shaw combination down the left for the home side. And we are dealing in the merest of margins in Manchester at the moment. The semi-finals, Manchester United for the first time of this competition. Of course, supporters of a certain era, all those on their stats might argue otherwise. We'll get to that in a moment, because here's Ctrl Alt looking to make that argument academic anyway. Manchester United do fall at the quarter-final hurdle here tonight. Ctrl Alt is everywhere right now. Lampong will hope it on to the pole once more. Eric Bailly for company, sticking very tight to him. Taking the ball from Donka and Tielemans. Plenty of possession for Anderlecht here. They return to their own half and then to their own goalkeeper. The counter-argument to Manchester United not having made the semi-finals of this competition, by the way, is that they did so in the Intercity Fairs Cup, which was effectively the precursor to the UEFA Cup. The last four under Cement Bosby in 1965. The UEFA Cup or the UEFA Europa League, though. Really made the point, of course, because they, like he, for most of that period, have been playing in the UEFA Champions League. Half a chance for Kitchi. Wide in the end. Wonderfully made by Dragovic. Fine footwork in the build-up. Mkhitaryan raced. Really pushes on. Very insisting he will still have a part to play between now and the end of the season. Needs everybody, given the number of games that they have to get through. Borshik. For Annie ahead of him, he's trying to squeeze it through to his captain. So it's Rashford, shoulder to shoulder with Appiah. But the obvious threat coming from Marcus Rashford is having a decent game in dealing with that threat. Mkhitaryan. Still Mkhitaryan, just slip it through for Ibrahimovic. The watch is there. Again, and he's got room to run into before Ashiampong takes over. Obradovic has continued his run. Dorshik in the middle. Support arriving as well here. Really utilised by the ball that followed, but it's out only as far as Tielemans. Get around Paul Pogba. Still Juraj Tielemans. Thought about the shot. Instead, he's played in Kipchu. Dorshik just behind him, really, so he had to try and improvise with a header. And because of that, couldn't generate the power. Trouble the goalkeeper. Both teams continuing to carve out opportunities. Pogba trying on the ball rather more frequently, maybe. Ibrahimovic with the flick on. Already in the end by Ruben. Readjusted to gather up in the nick of time. Exactly what he was trying there, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Trying to guide the header down. Desperate the most to get to that final in Stockholm, but he's finding fairly frustrating adversary in Martinez Ruben at the moment. Plenty of activity on the Manchester United bench. International now will Fellaini be involved. It's the most successful club side in his country's history. Much to play a part, certainly. It's the side who've taken 33 titles in Belgium, most of those coming in 2014. Against Club Brugge last year. 6 points better off than Brugge in the playoffs at the moment before they meet at the weekend as the fight goes up against Ibrahimovic. Fairly clear-cut decision for the officials this time. And that Zlatan would take issue with. Excellent record against tonight's opponents during his days with Paris, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Scored 4 in Brussels in the UEFA Champions League. So deflected through really, which with Rashford rather less dangerous than he might have been in that position. With the Spanish goalkeeper to come and gather up once more. Pogba. Reaction. You can see the response on the touchline of his coach as well. Not quite happening for the world's most expensive player so far tonight. Steve Beale, of course, with always having that tag attached to his name in such circumstances, but that comes with the territory, I guess. For Ander Herrera, who was so important in the win here against Chelsea at the weekend, when many felt Manchester United under Mourinho set new standards, and that the challenge tonight would be to match them. Consistency-wise, they are falling short right now. It's Tielemans forward for Anderlecht, returned by Valencia. He's featured further forward as frequently as we're used to seeing Antonio Valencia. Dunker trying to deliver the cross. Soon enough as we head towards the hour mark. Fellaini receives the instructions. Pollard and the body language are telling a worrying story for Manchester United right now. Fellaini to make a difference, often the plan B off the bench. Anderlecht domestically during his days with Standard Liège, only on the winning side once actually. Dispossessed momentarily by Pogba, not quite sit for Mkhitaryan. Tielemans with a challenge, could go anywhere. Coincidence though that it's Youri Tielemans who's on the end of it again. Towards Annie. Tielemans. Here's Kipchu taking on Shaw. Stood his ground to get the block in. Manchester United hearts in mouths for a moment again. It's that sort of evening. It's materialising here. It's Paul Pogba to try and switch the focus at the other end. Lingard takes over. It's been quite a second half. Surely his target. The ball has been badly lacking, so just to his bench to make a change. He's keeping a very close eye on developments there as Fellaini awaits his entrance. It is Lingard's number that is up here. Just a toe away, eventually Manchester United back in front, of course, at the start of this second half. Starter against Chelsea at the weekend. Also speaking ahead of the game in the official match programme here, saying just how much of a difference playing at Old Trafford will make, how Manchester United will make this advantage count. Half an hour to do so. So, a possible half hour after that. The other side have a great record in penalty kicks in UEFA competition. Anderlecht have never won one. Just you might remember a notable one in Moscow, in the final of the UEFA Champions League, but that's the only one. A victory at Anderlecht against Chelsea that they've won in UEFA competition as well. A little early to be speculating that far ahead, maybe. There's that sort of feel about it right now. Chances aren't coming as frequently as in the first half. By his first season at the club, of course, but with Rojo joining Jones and Smalling on the injured list, he's very much the senior centre-back right now. There's Fellaini, first notable involvement. Ibrahimovic to help it on. Rashford back to Ibrahimovic again, dropping a little deeper to get involved here. Pogba trying to turn. He's sticking with him. Here's Rashford. You had to be careful, and was. Strong in the challenge though, before he's content to let it go. Fellaini to Ibrahimovic, but getting bodies back behind the ball is required. Here's Valencia. And towards Fellaini, his presence felt, it's Rashford. And very quickly out to him again. To get the block in as soon as it left the boot. Ctrl Alt as he goes by on his shirt, getting the job done. Mkhitaryan, the clip in the cross, Fellaini's there, so through the right behind it is Ruben. And he has made an impact, Fellaini. You can see the change in game plan to utilise his physical presence. Back defending, claiming Fellaini was climbing on top of him again. That was rendered somewhat academic because of the comfortable nature of the collect for Ruben. Anderlecht return to the bench with a double change. It's a bold move from René Vela because the captain and goal scorer is making way here. It's the end of the night for Sofiane Ani. This does go the distance. He's quite a part in taking it that far, but won't be involved in the conclusion. Replaced by another of the Romanian contingent, Nicolae Stanciu. Two changes, as you can see, at this juncture. With Massimo Bruno also called for here by Viola. Fresh legs at such an important juncture of the evening. Alexander Kitchu is the man that's made way for Bruno. So as one Romanian enters the fray, his international colleague departs. Stage is certainly set here for somebody to make themselves a hero. It's already going rather better for Anderlecht than their previous experiences in Manchester. Just 3 away games against Manchester United. They've conceded 18 goals before this evening. The target will win it in the air, finds Marcus Rashford, opens up for Rashford. Close but not close enough. Had to hit it really, sensed his opportunity. Strong play again from Ibrahimovic. Shifted it onto that right foot to create a space for the shot and a clear sight of goal here. Just pulled it. He's been in a rich vein of form recently. Makes it awkward for Ruben. Kept his composure just about. Rashford with 5 Premier League goals so far this season. Announced his arrival, as mentioned earlier, in this competition last year, but he hasn't actually scored in this season's UEFA Europa League yet. It's his 8th attempt to do so, the 19-year-old. There's Carrick. So much more comfortable when Michael Carrick's really pulling the strings and setting the pace in midfield. It hasn't really been the case consistently tonight. Fellaini penalised this time. Teodosic. This was a great one, wasn't it? And, not necessarily needed from Aaron Fellaini position. And afford Tielemans another chance to deliver into the danger area. On the ball. Watching it carefully. Actually reacting time.
Go, 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 go!
Chance on as for Bruno. He started the first leg. Long reversal. As he comes into the action in place of Kitchu tonight. The midway point of this second half. The stakes getting higher, maybe. The clock ticks down, way to the sense of tension inside the stadium. This famous European theatre of football. Manchester United have been so strong in continental competition. Reminder, they're unbeaten in 16 at Old Trafford. For competition dating back to Sir Alex Ferguson's days. They've won 13 of those 16. Previous records and statistics will not necessarily help them here, though. As Stanshu tries to make his presence felt, tries to make his impact off the bench up against the Manchester United substitute Fellaini. Plenty forward for the kick that will follow. This is a good one, though. His clearance not particularly convincing either, but Mkhitaryan will help it away. Rashford to give chase. That gets the better of Appiah. Rashford is in and around the goalkeeper. Has he taken it too far, though? He has. Wonderful chance for Marcus Rashford that he's not able to capitalise upon. And Dennis Appiah, having been initially beaten, is able to intervene and save himself and his side. Yet again, a major opportunity spurned from those in red. Over the two legs there have been far too many for Jose Mourinho's liking. Valencia towards Fellaini. Bush will concede the corner. Settled for that, I think, in the circumstances. He's had a decent game and had the pace to recover, having been caught out initially. He played in a decent spirit, and that spirit, it seems, has been shared on the sidelines as well. We head towards the last 20 minutes. Mkhitaryan's corner. Slip from Pogba, it come for Rashford. Nobody willing to gamble for Manchester United on that occasion. Now they might need to get back again. Tielemans has taken over the captain's armband. Xiampong was waiting, I think, for options to materialise on either side. I thought perhaps his best chance was to take it on. And this chance for Rashford all came about from the Anderlecht corner. Didn't deal with it at all, Dennis Appiah. Got lucky initially. Rashford's touch was heavy around the goalkeeper, though, and enabled the fullback to get himself back in position. And that reaction tells it all. He knows, really, their lead should have been restored. Instead, they've got more defending to do from another corner, which is a comfortable take in the end for Sergio Romero. So finely balanced here, it really is. There's Pogba. Mkhitaryan has to give chase. He will get there, it wasn't quite as intended, but he will get there. Valencia in support to deliver the cross. Fellaini's in there, so's Ibrahimovic as they look for the flag. Blocked away anyway, they're still appealing for the offside. That shit didn't come. It's Zlatan Ibrahimovic. No time to ponder that particular period of play. End-to-end stuff right now. Stanchu goes cross-field. Bruno from one substitute to the other. To Massimo Bruno once more. Make sure he's with him. Prevents the cross from coming in. Very little in it in terms of the attempts at goal either. It's been that sort of night. Appiah. Intended from Tielemans. Shows the seniority he has at 19. He's the next in line for the captaincy. Forward, it's a wonderful ball. If Ibrahimovic can bring it down, he's looking for the penalty. Referee very quick to wave away any appeal. Immediately turned in the direction of Alberto and Giano Mayenko. Again, no time to reflect on it. Sergio Romero required at the other end. An Anderlecht goal, remember, and Manchester United would need 2 inside these last 20 minutes. Ashiampong again. Get ahead of Valencia. Stanchu. Has to ride the challenge of Fellaini. Valencia is in the way. Pogba. Has to go away from Tielemans. Battle between those two in the midfield right now. Here's Rashford. Pogba seeing plenty of it. Not too easily. Are able to bring it away with Ashiampong once more. A very stick or twist in the closing stages. The longer it goes, the more likely the second goal for the Belgian visitors would book their place in the semi-finals. They don't take any chances in pursuit of it, knowing they're still just a goal away as it stands from elimination. He has to be careful under pressure from Teodosic. Proving his fitness to this stage of the game when he was substituted at Istenda at the weekend on his way back from that shoulder problem. They only have one further change still available. And, potential extra half an hour to bear in mind in that respect, of course. Here's Carrick. Pogba. Through for Mkhitaryan. So influence has waned a little the longer the game has gone on. They never failed to beat a Belgian side at home. In European competition, Manchester United, 4 previous attempts, 3 of those actually against Anderlecht. They've won the lot. This is proving much more difficult to negotiate as Valencia delivers. Won't come for Ibrahimovic, but he's again to take it. Attacking the near post anyway. Mkhitaryan in a real duel with Bruno. Like he'd lost out there. Has gone over the way actually. Into the final 15 of the 90. Another look at the possible penalty shout here. It was Svajic on Ibrahimovic. It was that the arm around the chest. Ibrahimovic may be looking for it. Different interpretation of events. Predictably, perhaps. making hard work of this his side. Carrick. Pogba's his target, and he will get his head to it. Ibrahimovic. The team's talisman this season when they need that moment of magic. So it is generally, but they want to step up and provide it. Shaw in towards Ibrahimovic again. It's 5 goals in this competition, of course, accompanying the 17 in the Premier League. Rashford to deliver, the panic in the penalty area, which Pogba was trying to profit from. Just about dealt with it, Anderlecht. Spites, though, is a busy boy at the moment. Here's Shaw. Manchester United applying the greater pressure at this juncture. Just in the back of their minds, they have that need to be careful at the other end, though. As Carrick goes cross-field for Fellaini, Ibrahimovic, Pogba, quite able to combine between the pair of them. The attack's starting through Michael Carrick right now. Starting to sit a bit deeper. Here's Rashford. It's a really good cross, which has caused a bit of panic. It came off and dodge for the corner, but you can see the spirit. See the sheer bloody-mindedness maybe in defence to get the job done one way or the other. A little bit of fortune perhaps thrown in to concede only the corner on that occasion. Mkhitaryan is waiting to take his Pogba, and it's over the top. Came at him quickly. Another chance, another notable chance comes and goes for Manchester United. Very congested in the middle, and still Pogba was able to meet it. The touch came off Dendoncker. Both went for it at the same moment. Certainly Dendoncker's presence there made the chance much more difficult for Paul Pogba. He's perhaps trying to get across. The earlier one where Anderlecht wanted the offside flag against Ibrahimovic after Fellaini had tried to flick it through to him. So a good save though, has to go down as from Martinez Rupen with the left boot of the Spanish goalkeeper. Change has been made. Teodosic won't go the distance with extra time maybe looming here. So the top scorer for Anderlecht has made way. Ctrl Alt is on in his place, the Swede. There's another like Ibrahimovic hoping to go all the way to a final in the capital of his home nation. Rashford, no way through. Fellaini. It's been a bit too tight to Mkhitaryan on that occasion. Spajic has to be careful. He's another who is booking away from missing the first leg of the semi-final should they get there. 9 players in the Anderlecht squad in that situation. 6 of them starting this game. Tillman's has already picked up a caution that would see him suspended should they progress. So Billy Blint's going to take the free kick this time for Manchester United. But Fellaini the target. Chiampou back defending, but shouldered off it by Valencia. Which Ibrahimovic and Pogba has got in each other's way. Not quite sure where it was going to fall there. Given the number of games that Mourinho's men are having to negotiate right now, extra time is not a particularly welcome addition to the calendar, should it go that far. So far only made the one change though, so better options still at his disposal. As the arrival of Ctrl Alt for Anderlecht means that their coach has played his hand now. Ranavila will not be able to make any further alterations should this be extended into that extra half an hour. Who went to close him down. Through the legs of the fullback, claiming he was resisting the temptation to pull the player back, but the officials had a better view of it. Tielemans will take the free kick that will follow. Bends it in, trademark delivery, but it's not been Sergio Romero this time. Much of what Romero's had to do second half has been relatively routine, actually. As was the case before the break. Frustrating home draws this season for Manchester United in the Premier League. It's going to be added to the tally. Carrick, Ibrahimovic. And the concern for Manchester United must be when Ibrahimovic produces a finish like that in a position like that. This might not be their night after all. Draws I was just referring to domestically may well be what end up costing Manchester United if they don't go on and make the top four, try and qualify for next season's UEFA Champions League. This could yet cost them a similar pursuit of qualification in that competition. They'll keep on coming though. Valencia, Ibrahimovic will reach it. It's Shaw, by Luke Shaw should be the goalkeeper as it is. Not enough take from Ruben. Gave the defence the shot required. Arashi Ampong, this is the danger for Manchester United. Pushing for the winner in the 90th. So for Anderlecht, of course, having made the 3 changes already, is to see Arashi Ampong down with what may well be planned. But at this stage, they do have to get through an extra half an hour. That might be an issue. Here's Valencia towards Ibrahimovic. Extra little gear tonight though in terms of the creativity required in the final third. A little laboured, perhaps predictable. There's a chance that one falls Zlatan, certainly by his standards. First touch opened up the shot, but also enabled the defender to get across him and make it slightly more difficult than it might have been. A fair few late goals so far this season already in the lockout. Changes Violet, but you can impart further instructions. So this little break in play whilst they assess the condition of Arashi Ampong. Required all round, so they might be getting ready to extend their evening. Sometimes, of course, Mourinho have been critical of Luke Shaw there. There's intelligence of the areas that has been highlighted. Within range of his coach's ear right now for further instruction perhaps. This is Carrick up towards Ibrahimovic, just behind Fellaini. Tielemans gets Anderlecht facing in the right direction again. Massimo Bruno takes over. Ibrahimovic with Pogba in space. Rashford flags up. Flags up against Marcus Rashford. He was up a long time before he ended up putting that in the back of the net. Well, it was a close one. Pogba trying to thread it through. Assistant over on the far side, right in line. Again, it's a very tight call. Agitation on the touchline of his manager. Another that goes down as nearly but not quite for Manchester United. You have to wonder because of that whether the same will eventually apply to the tie as a whole. It's certainly what he's hoping for. This will turn René Weiler's first season as Anderlecht coach from a very decent one into a potentially majorly memorable one, given what happened, of course, in the playoff part of the season in Belgium as well. They lead the title race before that huge game against the champions Club Brugge at the weekend. A major lift going into that match if they can do so, knowing that their place in the semi-finals of the UEFA Europa League has been secured. Nothing but secure for either side right now. This is their first quarter-final in 20 years. Manchester United have been in 12 since then. They lost their last, by the way, 1997 to Internazionale. 6 years after having been beaten by another Serie A side, Roma, at the same stage in the UEFA Cup. Competition they did win back in 1983. Cups to their name as well. It's most successful side on the European stage. And they've actually lost more games in UEFA competition than any other team. It's testament just to how often, more than anything, they have featured in European competition, in fairness. 3 minutes away from taking this to extra time. It's Paul Pogba forward, looking for Ibrahimovic. Svajic there. Who is staying a little further forward. Mkhitaryan. Pogba finds Fellaini. Ibrahimovic, he had Rashford lurking with intent and support. Didn't get that far. It's Bruno. Shaw sticking with him. Svajic. Mkhitaryan, it will break for him. 4-on-4 momentarily. To Pogba, who would have thought needed to be a bit better, but it's back with Mkhitaryan. Pogba, Ibrahimovic flicks it through. Rashford's made the run. Finds only the side netting. The chances keep coming until the conclusion of the 90, but still they can't find the one that would matter most to take Mourinho's men through. Might have been offside initially, but when it came back to him, certainly onside Ibrahimovic, and Rashford just couldn't quite find the angle. The weighted ball flicked through very deliberately into the path of Rashford. No understanding between the two of them. He had as much of his near post covered as he could manage anyway. There's Mkhitaryan, last minute of the 90. There's a dramatic conclusion though, on that we shall go tonight. Strong run from Appiah. Anderlecht goal now, and they would be through. It wouldn't be time for Manchester United to surely get the two they would require. Chiampong still not moving particularly freely. Combination of Fellaini and Bailly get back to him. Ibrahimovic, he was struck on the side of the head there, I think. From Carrick as it had to be. 90 minutes are up. Just the two to be added on in additional time. 4 minutes for either side to find the goal that will finish this. Otherwise it's the extra half an hour and potentially penalties. Fellaini. We'll keep pushing here, the home side. that trip to Burnley to come on Sunday. They want this done if at all possible inside the 90. A frustrating evening for them. Mkhitaryan, Ibrahimovic holds off Appiah, finds Rashford. Can he find Shaw? Not quite. Not quite. And then Shaw, in his desperation to get on the end of it, is going to be penalised. Came off the worst in every sense, really, the Manchester United left back in that collision with Uros Vahic. To be so precise in that part of the pitch. So many back in blue. Piling on the misery at the moment for Mourinho. Shaw, I think, is going to be okay. He has already, of course, lost another defender in the process of this evening with that first half injury that saw Marcus Rojo leave the action early on a stretcher. One further change now available, with Fellaini having replaced Lingard. And almost certainly into extra time. This will be the last attack before then, you would have thought. Carrick towards Ibrahimovic. He goes down, lost his balance as much as anything. Hurt himself in the process of challenging for that, and might have hurt himself badly. Judging by how he's gone down clutching the knee. Thought things couldn't get much worse. The whistle has gone for the end of the 90. Just at the moment that Ibrahimovic went down left. It's the right knee that is the cause of concern for Zlatan Ibrahimovic as the treatment goes on, and we wait to see whether he will even be